Hey everybody, Kate Story here from Bookmore Bride. So good to see you today. So happy to have you join us to talk about the concept of follow-up. And the question that often comes up of how often should you follow up with leads? And then the next question is, how do you do it without being annoying, right? There are a couple of things that we can talk about with this today, but more than anything, I want you guys to walk away with knowing that you need to follow up far more than you think you do, okay? I think it's easy for us to fall into the trap of thinking, well, okay, we followed up with them once, twice, maybe 3 times, and if we don't hear from them, well, they must not be interested and I'm going to step back, okay? But the first thing I want you guys to realize is the power of follow-up, okay? That the fortune is in the follow-up. Now, we didn't come up with that phrase. That is something that, a lot of very experienced, talented, well-known sales professionals have discovered is that the fortune is in the follow-up, right? The more you follow up, the more likely that you are going to make a sale. That's just simple math, okay? But especially with our profession in our industry, we're always worried about coming off as that, irritating, annoying professional who just won't, just keeps bugging people and won't them go. And especially, thinking, oh, they don't really want what I have. Otherwise, they would have gotten in touch with me, right? Well, the first thing I need you to realize with that is, like I said, you need to follow more than you think you do because life just gets in the way sometimes for these couples, okay? We don't know what it is that they're going through. They could be juggling a lot of family issues, a lot of job, demands. There could be a lot of things. I mean, just the stress of wedding planning alone, right? This is just something that happens a lot with our couples is that life just happens and time slips away and they just forget about us, okay? And it doesn't mean that they weren't interested in us. It just means that they might need more reminders of who we are, what we do, and how we can help them, right? So that's the first thing I need you guys to realize is that we have to follow up with them more than just once or twice or even 3 times, okay? But then it becomes, all right, so how do I do this without being annoying, without being that wedding professional that gets a reputation for being, high pressure or irritating, or just someone that, they're not going to want to work with because we've essentially turned them off to wanting to work with us. Well, that's where I want to talk to you about the concept of professional persistence, okay? And let me give you an example of this. Destiny, one of our Growth Academy members, she had posted in our private group just yesterday about how the power of professional persistence had paid off for her. And it was not just because she followed up to see if they were still interested. It was the fact that this couple came to her and they wanted a date that was already booked at her venue. She is a manager for a venue that is super cool. It's an old post office that's been updated. It's just this really awesome location. And because she's been working so hard in the Growth Academy and really applying a lot of these principles and everything, she's been really able to let more and more people know how incredible her venue is and why it's the perfect venue for them for their wedding, okay? So what happened with this particular example with Destiny, I'm going to give, because this is kind of a specific example, and then I'm going to go back and talk about some broader examples. But with Destiny, she harnessed kind of this power of professional persistence because this couple had come in and, like I said, they were interested in booking her venue for a date that was already taken. And instead of saying, oh, what a shame, I don't have that date available for you, she said, here are some other dates that are available. And they initially, if I understand it correctly, Destiny, feel free to hop in here later and tell me if there's a correction to the story. But essentially, they kind of were like, yeah, that we kind of had our hearts set on that date. I think it's just not going to work out. Thanks so much for the time, but we really loved it. But she sent them away saying, hey, just so you know, I do have these dates available. After that, after she had that initial consultation with them, I believe she reached out to them at least one more time and said, hey, Thanks again. It was great to meet you. If you should want to choose a different date, these are the dates that I have available. And guess what? That couple came back to her and said, yep, we decided we're going to take this date instead, because one, they knew they didn't want to miss out on, booking a really cool venue. But two, she reminded them of the dates that were available and said, hey, why don't you consider these? Okay. Like I said, they had their heart set on a particular date, but because she did her due diligence as a good wedding professional, she reached out to them again and reminded them, hey, here are the dates that are available. If you change your mind and you want to explore these instead, I would love to work with you. And she booked them. Okay. So this is what I need you guys to remember is, because like I said, what could she have done? She could have said, oh, what a shame. Your date's not available. Best of luck to you, and sent them on their way. But no, she not only gave them additional dates, which, is good customer service, but she continued to follow up with them in a professional way. So she was persistent, but she remained professional about it, meaning she just reached out to them and said, okay, so great to meet you. Here is a reminder of when these dates are available if you change your mind. Okay. Now let's think about this in some other scenarios. Okay. Where perhaps what we all tend to experience at some point or another, where we get ghosted, right? Where we have a great conversation with a couple, or they reach out to us asking for information. We give them some information and then we don't hear from them, right? Which is super frustrating, because our hope is that, what we offer as wedding professionals is so amazing. Of course they would want it. Of course they would want to book it now. But remember what I said, sometimes one, life just gets in the way, or two, these couples could just be so overwhelmed with wedding planning. Maybe they're still in the early stages and they're, either bombarded by tons of different choices and they're having a hard time making a choice, or two, they need to be reminded, as they're going through and they're not ready to book yet. They need those reminders of who you are and what makes you different and why they liked you so much. Okay. This is that buy now versus buy later concept also that we talk about all the time here at Book More Brides. Okay. The buy now clients, the couples that you want to book right now, that you want to be, ready to go, ready to slap down their deposit and say, yes, absolutely, let's go right now. That is actually a very small percentage of your local market. The statistics say it's about 3% of your local market in terms of people who need what you offer and are ready to purchase right now. Okay. So if you've been frustrated lately with people not booking with you right away, just know that that's potentially part of it. Okay. You're dealing with a lot of couples. You're not finding a lot of those buy now couples right now. Okay. But here's the thing. At some point, they're going to turn into buy now customers. So these ones that are not ready to book now, we call those buy later clients. Okay. But eventually they're going to become buy now customers, buy now clients. Okay. But we don't know when that point is. So what is our job as good wedding professionals? Our job is to be professionally persistent. The way that we do that is by continuing to reach out to them with helpful, useful information that is going to help them feel more confident in making a decision once they get to that buy now stage. Okay. Our job is to give them information so they can make a decision now if they're at that point. But if they're not at that point yet, we need to continue to follow up with them, be professionally persistent, professional in your nature, being, not annoying, not spammy, not high pressure, but continuing to reach out to them until they tell you one of three things. One, I've gone with somebody else. Two, I'm not, I've already gotten married, right? Or three, yes, I'm ready to talk with you. Let's do this, right? You need to keep going until you get one of those three answers. Otherwise, you need to keep going. Okay. And sometimes this can be 10 touch points, 15 touch points, 20 touch points. Okay. It also depends on what it is that you offer. If you offer a service that tends to be something that couples put off a little bit later in their planning, okay, they might do a lot of their research up front when they first get engaged because they're super excited and they just want to know what's out there and what the possibilities are. And because, their friends and family are throwing recommendations at them left and right. But that doesn't mean that they're ready to book those right now. They may not have the funds. They may not be ready to make a decision, right? So we have to continue to reach out to them and make sure we remind them why we're fantastic, what we can do for them, how we can help them, okay? So make sure you keep reaching out to them. And this is also a great time to employ that give, ask system that we always talk about, okay? Where you give, you reach out to them through email or text, depending on, what type of information or what type of contact information you have for them. Email is obviously a little less of a personal touch point, okay? It might be a little easier to do that if you can get their email address. But texting, we're finding, is also helping a lot of our wedding professionals that we're working with, a lot of our clients. It's helping them to turn those buy later couples into buy now couples a little bit faster, okay? Because it's a little more immediate. So if you guys have questions about how to use texting in your wedding business, let me know. Either put in the comments or reach out to us at hello@bookmorebrides.com, and we'd be happy to give you some details about that so we can try to get you some information how to put it for your business, okay? So reaching out to them and giving them useful information that is going to help them feel confident on making a decision. But those are the two gives. But don't forget to also ask for the sale. That is a very important element to this. Make sure that you are asking them for a consultation, for them to reply to you, for them to check out your packages and pricing page. Those kinds of things, okay, where we are asking them to take an action. We can't give them all, it can't be all give information, but, because then it makes it hard for us to make a sale. But we can't be all constantly, book a consultation, check out the packages and pricing. Are you ready to make a decision? Let's have a chat. If we are, constantly ask, that is what is going to put us into that annoying and spammy category. So you have to balance it out. Be professionally persistent by balancing out the give information, helpful, useful information that's going to help them make a decision on the service that you're offering without pressuring them to book a consultation or buy now. But then making sure that you do weave in a request for, hey, if you've been liking what's been useful here, if you're ready to, get some more information about what I do, let's set up a consultation. Let's have a quick phone or a Zoom chat, right? Those kinds of things are going to help you have better success by not only nurturing those buy later couples, but then moving them with asks and being professionally persistent into moving them into that buy now category, okay? So I hope this was helpful for you today. If you guys have any questions about, like I said, how to incorporate some of these methods, either the give, ask method, how to be professionally persistent without being annoying and spammy and high pressure, or if you'd like some more information on how to incorporate text messaging into your wedding business to try to speed along that process a little bit and build that relationship a little bit quicker, reach out to us anytime. Like I said, comment below, or you can reach out to us anytime, hello@bookmorebrides.com, and we'd be happy to help you out. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining us today, and we will see you next week. Let me know how you do in being professionally persistent this week, and let us know what your successes are, okay? Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.